What if the warmest smile in the room was the first step in a trap? What if influence isn't built in sudden leaps, but in quiet layers, each one darker than the last? Today, we trace the 7 levels of dark psychology, not a theory, a staircase people still walk every day, from harmless charm to the truly chilling. Stay close. I'll be your flashlight. Level 1. The charmer. Everyone knows this face. The neighbor whose smile feels like sunlight after rain. The politician kissing babies so effortlessly that you forget the policies hiding behind the handshake. Charm is magnetic because it works on instinct. Our brains are wired to reward warmth and eye contact. We feel safe when someone makes us feel seen. But here's the quiet truth. Charm is not the same as kindness. It can be a velvet glove over iron claws. Listen closely to the rhythm. Compliments land with perfect timing. Stories glide toward a point you didn't realize was being made. Every gesture calibrated. Every laugh rehearsed in silence long before you arrived. It feels spontaneous. It isn't. Ancient Greek rhetoricians had a word for this. Charis. The art of graceful persuasion. They studied how a raised eyebrow or a slight tilt of the head could disarm an audience before the argument even began. Centuries later, Chinese military strategists wrote, "Win the heart before the sword, influence the emotion, and reason will follow like a shadow." The modern charmer may not plot on parchment, but the method is identical. They disarm first, then they guide. Before you notice, you're sharing secrets you swore you'd keep, agreeing to favors you never planned to grant. And when you finally sense the pattern, it's too late. You've opened the gate, handed over the keys, and thanked them for the privilege. This is where the descent starts, not with threats or force, but with a smile that feels like safety. Level 1. The charmer. The first step into dark psychology. Level 2. The manipulator. Influence sharpens here. Your friend just asks a question. Are you sure that's the best use of your time? And suddenly you're canceling your own plans. What began as charm becomes deliberate control. The manipulator never grabs the wheel, yet the road bends exactly where they want it. Their tools are whispers and questions, not commands, not arguments. A seed of doubt is enough. Are you sure that's what happened? Do you really know what she meant? The mind, eager to solve its own puzzles, takes over and does the work for them. History recognized this long ago. Machiavelli warned princes to appear virtuous, never to waste power being virtuous, because people follow the image, not the truth. A polished surface hides the machinery beneath. Manipulators read the cravings we keep beneath polite conversation. The quiet hunger for validation, the secret wish for safety, the private ache for power. They find the lever you will never resist and press it lightly, almost kindly, until you move yourself. You think the idea is yours. The decision feels natural, even inevitable. But it isn't. They shaped the choices long before you noticed there was a choice at all. Watch how they frame a story, how they pause just before a critical word, how they let silence stretch until you rush to fill it. Every hesitation is calculated, every sigh a cue. And when you finally arrive where they intended, you'll swear no one led you. That's the signature of the manipulator. Control without fingerprints, direction without force. Charm opened the door. Manipulation rearranges the furniture of your mind. Level 2 is not loud. It's quiet, precise. And by the time you feel the shift, you're already standing exactly where they wanted you to be. Level 3, the gaslighter. Ever had a boss who made you doubt your memory? When suggestion stops working, reality itself becomes the battlefield. This is the realm of the gaslighter. Their weapon is not force. It's doubt. They don't need to break your body, only your certainty. A room feels darker tonight. You mention it. They smile. The light's the same as always. A conversation you recall word for word is flatly denied. That never happened. Each contradiction seems small, but together they fray the edges of what you know to be true. History left warnings carved in stone, then erased them. Roman emperors practiced damnatio memoriae, striking a rival's name from monuments so completely that it was as if the person never existed. Power through erasure. The gaslighter performs the same ritual in the mind. They do not argue, they edit. A pause here, a gentle laugh there, until you start editing yourself. You revisit memories like a faulty recording. Was it really that bright? Did you overreact? Are you imagining things? Soon you apologize for actions you never took. You defend choices you never made. Your internal compass, once steady, now spins to match theirs. This is the quiet genius of gaslighting. The victim becomes an unreliable narrator of their own life. And the more you doubt your senses, the more you depend on the one who claims to remember for you. Charm opened the gate. Manipulation rearranged the path. Gaslighting burns the map. By the time you realize the ground has shifted, you no longer trust your own footsteps. Their version of reality has become the only version. Level 3, the gaslighter, where truth is rewritten, one dimmed light at a time. Level 4, the seducer. Not every snare is cold steel. Some are woven from warmth, soft enough to feel like destiny. This is the realm of the seducer. Seduction is magnetism refined into art. It does not rush. It does not plead. It draws. Cleopatra ruled with more than beauty. She staged meetings as theater, perfumed sails, silver oars, so that Rome's most powerful men stepped aboard already enchanted. In Greek myth, the sirens sang sailors into the rocks, their voices promising a bliss worth dying for. The melody was the weapon. A true seducer never chases. They build an atmosphere so charged with possibility that you lean forward of your own accord. Every glance a breadcrumb, every silence a door half open. You mistake their patience for intimacy, their attention for recognition of something rare. The trap is not rejection. It is surrender, willing, even joyful. You believe you are choosing when the choice was written long before you arrived. Modern life only multiplies the stage. Celebrities who turn their lives into a dream you can purchase. Influencers who promise that their reality, perfect mornings, effortless wealth, could be yours too. Each post a siren song. Each click a small concession of desire. Seduction doesn't shatter the self. It amplifies it, reflecting a version of you more vivid, more alive. And that is the danger. People will walk willingly into the cage if it feels like paradise. Charm opened the gate. Manipulation steered the path. Gaslighting bent the horizon. Now the seducer invites you to step through a door that seems to lead to everything you ever wanted. You smile, you follow, and only later do you wonder who was following whom. Level 5, the puppet master. Seduction aimed at one heart can swell to fill a stadium. Here, the game changes. The puppet master moves crowds, not with chains, with stories. A single tweet ignites a protest in 3 cities, and no one can trace who first lit the match. This isn't the fringe cult, yet. It's the strategist who understands that a single phrase, repeated with rhythm, can steer thousands. A slogan, a broadcast, a meme whispered across timelines until it feels like common sense. You don't feel the strings, you feel conviction. Ancient orators knew this power. Roman crowds swayed to the cadence of speeches like waves to the moon. Centuries later, propaganda turned entire nations with a poster, a chant, a carefully staged photograph. The mechanics never changed, only the medium. Today, it's viral influencers, talk show firebrands, algorithmic feeds. A phrase slides across your screen and suddenly the world seems obvious, divided into heroes and villains. You repeat it, defend it, swear the thought was yours. It wasn't. The puppet master designs narratives that bypass debate. Emotion first, reason later, if ever. Fear, pride, belonging, each a string invisibly tied. You dance, believing the motion voluntary. Watch how they operate. A sudden crisis to focus attention. A villain to unify the crowd. A promise of safety, dignity, victory, if you follow. Every detail calibrated for resonance. Every silence timed for suspense. This is mass manipulation without a single command. No threats, no orders. Only the subtle architecture of belief. And when an idea feels too natural to question, the work is complete. The crowd moves as one. The puppet master steps back, and the stage is ready for something darker. When a single voice no longer seeks influence, but worship. Level 6, the cult architect. Your favorite online community starts calling outsiders the unwoke, and family dinners feel like enemy territory. The crowd is no longer an audience. It is a congregation. Here, the cult architect begins the final construction. A world inside the world. Followers trade identity for belonging. Questions are recast as weakness. Doubt is betrayal. The blueprint is timeless. Ancient mystery cults promised secret knowledge sealed in oath and ritual. Medieval sects demanded loyalty with threats of eternal loss. Today, fan armies and online movements echo the same design. Isolation from outsiders. Language only insiders understand. A cause too sacred to challenge. Mantras replace thought. Chants, hashtags, daily rituals. Each repetition tightens the frame until it feels unbreakable. The leader's words ascend from opinion to law, from law to prophecy. Reality is filtered through a single voice. Every event, every headline, is explained by that voice. Friends and family become them, dangerous simply for not believing. The architect rarely calls it a cult. It might be a lifestyle brand, a political mission, a spiritual awakening. The name doesn't matter. What matters is the enclosure. Soft walls built from devotion and fear. Inside, the world makes perfect sense. Outside, it barely exists. This is power beyond persuasion. It is the quiet conquest of the human mind. Level 7. The God Complex. The final level is not about followers. It is about the self. Success intoxicates. Boundaries dissolve. The architect begins to believe the mirror. History offers the script. Roman emperors demanded temples to their living divinity. Pharaohs ruled as flesh and blood gods. Modern tyrants wrap themselves in destiny, certain that their judgment is flawless. Here, charm hardens into worship. Manipulation becomes prophecy. Seduction becomes salvation. At this altitude, morality is a toy. Other people shrink to pieces on a private board. Law is an inconvenience. Consequence, a myth. The danger is not the crown. It is the conviction that the crown cannot be removed. Every decision feels preordained. Every whim, a revelation. And yet history is merciless. Every living god eventually falls, brought down by revolt, by time, by the gravity of their own delusion. Still the pattern returns. The lure of limitless power is older than any empire, and just as fragile. This is the summit of dark psychology, not the conquest of others, but the erasure of limits within. The moment a person stops believing they are human, and starts believing the world believes it too. Dark psychology is not a ladder for the rare monster. It's a map of ordinary temptations. To please, to persuade, to control, to be adored. Most of us hover near the first steps. A few keep walking. And when they do, the descent looks almost like success, until it doesn't. Guard your perception, because every level begins the same way, with someone who only wanted to make you smile.